Thank you and welcome to my channel. This will be the first of many videos that I intend to make over the course of some time. So generally I would like to make these as often as possible, but because of my full-time job it makes it a bit difficult for me. So I would generally expect to make a video once a week every Saturday. Starting today, obviously. So basically what I would like to start with is a couple of topics. So I generally want to do everything from vaping to beards and everything else in between. I'm more focused on the happenings within Zambia at the moment because of the lack of traction that's happening in this country. But otherwise, I ask that everyone would join in and support, like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And yeah, I will make this as fun and as educational as possible. It could be reviews, advocacy. I focus on a lot of those in my channel. So without further ado, let's begin with our vaping segment. So I have a post here that was done some time ago. It was done quite some time ago. So vaping hasn't been that much of a thing in Zambia. It's recently started gaining a bit of traction, but not so much. So this post I'm speaking about now is done by Zarina Gelu in the Zambian Daily Mail, December 13, 2014. So yeah, it's a long time ago, but then not much news happens in vaping, around vaping in Zambia anyway. So the article will be linked in the description below, and it goes like this. So while the anti-tobacco activists are focused on lobbying government to raise taxes on cigarettes, to curb smoking, the tobacco industry has seemingly blindsided them with a new threat, the electronic cigarette, or e-cigarettes to be short. Now, a new threat? I don't think so. Look, not everyone will be willing to trust something made by big tobacco, obviously, but there is a difference between the vapes that we know and those little pen style e-cigarettes that we are used to seeing and stuff in gas stations and stuff like that. So anyway, it goes on to say, Dr. Fasten Groma of the School of Medicine at the University of Zambia says he did not anticipate that e-cigarettes would appear on the Zambian market this quickly, but is not surprised. The tobacco industry will look for all ways to sell their commodities, so this is very unwelcome. It's a very unwelcome development and is not entirely surprising, said Dr. Goma, who is the principal author of the International Tobacco Control Evaluation Project Wave 1 survey in Zambia. Very cleverly, the producers of tobacco have said that the e-cigarette is a cessant and is actually helping in getting people to stop smoking, but that is not necessarily true. It is true. Smoking and vaping are completely different. There's such a stark difference between the two, it's ridiculous. And the only thing that the two would have in common is nicotine. But the nicotine that's in cigarettes is accompanied by a whole host of things that you don't want to be smoking. A lot of things. The carcinogens, it's ridiculous. You can research it, it's ridiculous. So anyway, it goes on to say that alongside other public health specialists, Dr. Goma has warned against tobacco derivatives such as e-cigarettes, shisha, commonly known as Huggy Bubbly in Zambia for some reason, I don't know why, which is fast gaining traction in Middle Eastern restaurants in Lusaka, and other tobacco products and other tobacco products, and urged government to provide strict legislation on their import. Dr. Goma explains that nicotine is highly addictive and contributes to neurodegeneration, and there is evidence in brain development problems in children and fetuses that have been exposed to nicotine. Well, generally, pregnant women shouldn't be smoking or vaping in the first place. Pregnant women should be looking after themselves and looking after the baby, and just doing the things that are supposed to be healthy for the baby, and all that sort of stuff. So drinking, smoking, all that sort of stuff, generally, as a common sense item, is a no-no for pregnant women, obviously. Let's see, so it goes on to say that we don't want the public to perceive them as a safer alternative to cigarettes. But they are. 95%, it's been proven. The Cancer Research UK has proven them to be 95% safer than cigarettes. They're not safe, but they are safer. And they're designed, and all this vaping stuff, the whole industry is designed to help adults move on from cigarettes, which cause harm, faster than anything else. There's nothing in this world that can't cause harm. The air that we breathe, it oxidizes in our bodies. It oxidizes and causes issues within our DNA, and that's why a lot of antioxidant things are taken to help curb that dilemma and whatnot. But yes, the oxygen we breathe is killing us. Anyway, so it goes on to say that safer alternative to cigarettes. Children who have never smoked might begin nicotine addiction with e-cigarette. Well, people shouldn't be selling to kids in the first place. If there are shops in Zambia and all over the world, generally ID is asked for, and I've never shopped at a place where they haven't asked me for ID before I bought something. So, following rules is a thing, and it's not a issue right now, because not many people are doing it. But with the rampant corruption in the whole of Africa, things like that do happen. But it just takes a bit of common sense on the part of the people selling it to say, please, can we have some ID so we can know that we can sell these products to you? So, common sense. He's concerned about first-time smokers might be deluded into thinking e-cigarettes are safe, or impressionable youth who think smoking is cool. Youth do that, and unfortunately it's the sad truth, youth do that. But it's up to the people, the grown-ups who are selling these products, to say, please, may we have some ID so we can sell you these products. So, like I said, common sense. While it might appear that e-cigarettes are a new phenomenon in Zambia, the trend is likely to catch on, and aided by aggressive marketing on companies like Imperial Tobacco, which is distributing to shops in Lusaka. Look, you see, the thing is, I don't agree with big tobacco. I really don't. It's a personal preference. With cigarettes, there's always been some sort of catch, and I don't need to explain to you what kind of catch that was, starting from way back when cigarettes were marketed as safe for consumption, and then all of a sudden people started getting cancer and people started dying more and more because of these cigarettes. So I'm certainly definitely skeptical about big tobacco, but with the vape shops, the actual vape shops that are people have thought about and designed them to help with adults and stopping that smoking that they've started before, which probably started when they were teens, mind you, when I started. Yeah, vaping. While the nicotine in electronic cigarettes does not pose additional health risks for adult smokers, the evidence for the effectiveness of e-cigarettes as a method of quitting smoking is limited and not definitive, and requires further research has been conducted. So to anyone who's going through this article, and like I said in the link in the description, research is continually being conducted. It has been found 95% safer. This was done like last year sometime. So yes, and his events is blah blah, and to say Zambian Consumer Protection Society, Muyunda Ilonga, who supports the anti-tobacco lobbyists and calling for regulation or ban on e-cigarettes. Now, you would like to ban e-cigarettes that are helping people stop or quit smoking and move on to something a lot safer, and have them smoke so that they can die of cancer. You know, somewhere along the line there's some really dodgy stuff going on where, you know, okay, I'm a doctor, I'll say ban it so that I have cancer patients coming into my hospital so I can treat them with these expensive medicines and stuff. Just be part of the fight here and say, okay, people are gonna die of cancer because of cigarettes. Why don't we try and make it a lot less, and then possibly then stop the whole thing with vaping? You know, people can even go on to stop it. It's not a thing that you know you go on to say smoke now and forever smoke. You can stop. It is entirely up to you. So yeah. And then furthermore, Dr. Ngulube says that anti-smoking lobby is being unreasonable, and I agree. The science says nicotine is not harmful, and research shows that it helps people stop craving tobacco, which is true. So why should they want more research in order to endorse cigarette as a cessation method? You know, exactly. Why? People, I must say, being from Africa, and mind you, this also happens all over the world, is that a lot of people are backward, especially when it comes to new technologies. You know, you would have adults, elderly people, they would perceive smartphones as dangerous because, you know, who knows what kind of things are floating around in the air, and you know, elderly people are mostly skeptical of such things, and by doing so, it creates a sense of backwardness, and this is exactly what we're seeing now. Everyone knows that research can be done on Google. People will know that, you know, stuff is happening, and it's happening quick. And vaping is the future. It is the way. It is a way for people to stop smoking, and it's something that a lot of us vapers will continue to do. I, for one, have been smoking for a while, and I recently got into vaping, and I've been vaping for 3 years now, and I love it. I love it. I will be doing a lot more DIY videos, and with that I will make sure that I bring to light a lot of the things that I've learned so far. I'll be doing a lot of reviews as well. I will try and do some reviews as well. So I have a few things to say about vaping and you know, those things in general. Sorry about that, sorry, just had to grab my vape. I'm vaping on my Pioneer for You IPV Velis. It's got a Yee chip in it. I'm using it mostly on temperature control. I have a few things. I'll be doing reviews on these products as we go along. This is currently products that I own at the moment. None of it's being sponsored. So yeah, this is basically my introduction video onto YouTube. So yeah, thank you very much for listening to that segment. I will continue on with my my beer segment now. So with beards, I have to say, not many people like doing them within the country. Mostly they're perceived as being dirty and so on and so forth, but all it takes is a bit of looking after, a lot of grooming and all that sort of stuff. Now I've got a few things to say about beards as well. As you can see, I'm growing one, and I've been doing so for the past 2 months. I got married in December of 2018. I was forced to shave it off, so I'm regrowing it now. It's been 2 or so months. Yeah, 2 or so months, and you know, I've put up a bit of growth here and there. It's still patchy. There's still a lot of things to be done to it, but generally I have a routine that I go through and look after it, and you know, all that sort of stuff. So I will be leaving some links in the description below as to what I use for my beards, my beard grooming, most importantly, and you know, the various balms and oils that I use, and when to use, and what to use, and why. So thank you all very much for taking the time to you know, watch my video. Like I said again, please like and subscribe, and I'll be giving a lot more content as the weeks progress, as I want to do them every Saturday. So thanks again, thanks for watching.